Greetings, viewers, and once again, I want to welcome you to our YouTube class. In today's class, the topic before us is nematodes, and I'm going to be talking about nematode, in the biological aspect, not in the aspect of parasitology, where we begin to study a particular nematode parasite, mentioning the pathology, the treatment, the diagnosis, and the rest of them. So, like I said, I will be talking about the biology of nematodes. Nematodes, like I've explained before, are a group of helminths. And of course, I said we have two basic categories of organisms, the helminths and the non-helminths. The non-helminths are the protozoa or further protozoa. The helminths are the uh, platyhelminthes and nematode. And I'm saying this under parasitology. Under parasitology, we'll have the helminths and the non-helminths. So under helminths, like I explained when I was talking about platyhelminthes, there are two different types of helminth again. We'll have the flat helminth, we'll have the round helminth. So nematodes fall under the round helminths. So we're going to be looking at the characteristics of this group of organisms known as the nematode. And the first is the fact that they are roundworms, which I've explained. While I was explaining plate helminths, I mentioned that their dose of virtually flattened, but in this case, this organism or this group of helminths are round worms. If you look at them, you discover that they appear to be round and not flat in, like we have in plate helminths. Then also have that they share ubiquity of insects. There's this characteristics that microorganisms and the insects share together, and that is what they call the ubiquity, or let me say, to say that an organism is ubiquitous. That word means that the organism is found everywhere. Like microorganisms are found everywhere. Insects are found everywhere in almost every conceivable ecosystem. The same thing applies to nematode, and that is why one of the characteristics is that they share the ubiquity of insects. So nematodes are found almost in every conceivable ecosystem. That is one major characteristic. And they parasitize all known organisms, ranging from invertebrates to vertebrates. And when I say they parasitize, I mean the parasitic ones. Of course, you know that we have the free-living nematode, the Cyanohabditis elegans. Cyanohabditis elegans, one of the smallest nematode parasites, is a free-living nematode. So we have free-living nematodes and we have parasitic nematodes. So the parasitic ones parasitize almost all known organisms from invertebrates to vertebrates. Then some of them serve as ectoparasites. Yes, some few nematodes serve as ectoparasites. However, majority of them, serve as an endoparasite or endoparasites, meaning that they live in the body of the host, deriving nourishment. And of course, these ones are parasitic. No circulatory and respiratory system. Yes, we also mentioned this in the case of platyhelminthes, but the little difference or the little advancement that nematodes have over platyhelminthes is the fact that even though they are devoid of the circulatory and respiratory system, but they have the digestive system. But the digestive system is absent in members of platyhelminthes. Then I've mentioned the fact that they are pseudocoelomates. When you say pseudo, false coelom, I've taken time to explain this. So members of nematodes are pseudocoelomate. They have a false coelom. That means the coelom is not a true one, that is completely covered by the mesoderm. And the fluid within this cavity is usually under pressure to form hydrostatic skeleton that, of course, is members of this group in their movement. then they are cephalized. If you can remember, I mentioned the fact that platyhelminths are the first group of organisms to show cephalization, and they mentioned that cephalization is a concentration of sense organs in a definite part of the body that is called the head. So nematodes are cephalized, and every other phylum we're going to study henceforth is also cephalized because cephalization started from members of platyhelminths. Then another level of advancement that nematodes over uh, have over the cnidarians is the fact that they have two openings. Of course, you know that there is one opening in the cnidarians that is called the gastrovascular cavity that you know a kind of that serves as the opening for the mouth and the anus. But in the case of nematodes, they have two different openings, one serving as a mouth and the other serving as the anus. Another important characteristic of nematode is that nematode, undergoes molting. Mhm. This is a special feature of members of this group. They undergo molting, and that means that they can, shed off their cuticle and, metamorphose into the next stage until they become adults. So this is another characteristic, and that is why if you are studying the parasite, the if you're studying nematode as a parasite, you begin to see people write something like this: egg, then L1, L2, L3, L4, then adult, adult. So from 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 L1 to L2, the parasite sheds off its cuticle. From L2 to L3, the same thing happens, and from L3 to L4, and from L4 to becoming an adult. Now, there are two different classes that are found under nematodes, and I will just mention these two classes, then talk about some of the examples, and that will be all for nematodes. So we have the phasmidia and the aphasmidia. The phasmidia are members that Sassanaceae, then these ones are also called adenophoria. So members of this group are those that have the sense organ that is called the phasmid. The phasmid, this a sense organ, not plasmid. Some people mistake this with this. These are two different things. The difference is in the H and L. This is phasmid, this is plasmid. This plasmid is a non-chromosomal DNA that is found in bacteria. So this is a sense organ found in nematodes. So those that have this, not all nematodes have this sense organ. Those that have it are called the phasmids, and they fall under the class phasmidia. Then those that don't have it are also called adenophoria or phasmidia, and they fall under that class. Then let's look at some examples of nematodes, some parasitic examples. I'll just mention three, only three. So we have so we have Ascaris lumbicoides is a parasitic nematode. We have Ensalosoma duodenea and Necato americanus is also a parasitic nematode, is under the nematode called the hookworm. the hookworm. Mm. Then of course we have the Strongyloides sacchularis. Strongyloides sacchularis. This Strongyloides sacchularis is also a hookworm. Then we also have Cyanohabditis elegans. Why these ones are parasitic? This one is free living, and apart from the fact that it's free living, it's also a very small or tiny nematode parasite. I also didn't mention that nematode parasite in the characteristics. I didn't mention that some are dioecious. mm. In fact, majority are dioecious. Majority are dioecious. Just few, just few of them are monoecious. Majority of the nematodes are dioecious, but few are monoecious. So, and of course, I also didn't mention the thing is coming one after the other. All these ascaris from uh, ascaris from the hookworm, they are all dioecious. So I also didn't mention that some are oviparous, some are viviparous, some are ovoviviparous. So what does it mean to be oviparous? That means they lay eggs. Oviparous means they lay eggs, like Ascaris lumbricoides, they lay eggs, and these eggs pass out through the feces to the external environment. Then the viviparous means they don't lay eggs, they produce live larvae, like you see in the filaria worms. Loa Loa, Cosaca volvulus, and Masonella ozadei pastans, and the rest of them, the Loa Loa, and even Draculus medinensis. These ones are said to be viviparous. Then ovoviviparous. These ones, what it means that they produce eggs that hatch within the intestine of the host. That means that if you get or see the feces of the person who is suffering from the disease caused by that kind of nematoparasite, you will not see the egg, even though they lay eggs. Sorry. Even though they lay eggs, but you will likely not see the eggs. What are you going to see? You see the larva. That is because the eggs hatch while still in the intestine of the host. I think this is where we are going to stop for today's class. See you in my next class.